Alright, I'm back. Or rather, I'm here! Starting the stream. I'm getting used to saying I'm back. As if I was already streaming and just took a break, but this is a new stream. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But whatever. Semantics. You understand what I mean. Alright. Let's continue Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward, shall we? Dun, dun. Hey everyone! Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Water's not even open yet. Every time I'm about to start my stream, I always feel like I forgot something. I don't know why. I can never shake the feeling that I forgot to do something before starting the stream. It's so weird. What do you think, Circus? He didn't say much, he just kinda leans against that wall and watches with one eye. He has said a few words before in the past, though. I've heard him talk. So what quest did we leave off on? Heavensward Part 1, Worse Than Dragons. I think we talked to them before I went to bed last night. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw this last night, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there we go. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons, eh? Well, I'll tell you. The bloody Nath. They're what you might get if you crossed an antling with a megalo crab and taught the thing how to walk on two legs. The fuck? They never used to stray far from the hives out of fear of the dragons, but they've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, sending out war parties for moms in all directions. They've even taken to harassing the Dravanians in their own lairs, if you can believe it. Wow! They got balls. And when they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, they certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it'd be closer to the Nath's home. Yeah, it'd be closer to the Nath's home territory. Now listen here, son. If you're set on heading west, you'd best keep your ears peeled for the angry clicks of Nath mandibles, or you'll find yourself staring into a set. It would seem that much has changed in Dravania. The Nath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. Weren't you just living here? Like, until very recently? You lived here? In Dravania? Oh, I think it's implied she's been in Perthis ever since Realm Reborn post-game or whatever. Aye, 'twas in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I had fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Pacevelger. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. My exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past his presence visited upon me. Thankfully, Marshchamp found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees and nursed me back to health. And in Tailfeather I remained for some time. Hence your familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Nath were once a peaceful people? Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and who would intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they were rarely hostile. Indeed, we were even able to trade with them on occasion. They have changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush on some roundabout route. I say we make straight for Samal and crush any unruly insect we meet underfoot. A more direct path, then. Very well. Let us first follow the trail west out of the forest and make for the statue of the Stained One. From there, we should have a fair view of the road that leads to Samal. Shall we? I like Estinian's confidence. Let's just crush any insect underfoot that comes at us. Fuck 'em. We own the place. I like how it's basically the same time of day it was when I logged out last night, but oh! The weather's nice and clear this time. Now that's a much better view than last night, eh? Hold on. Go first person. Leon was in the fucking way. Midgie, move! Well, we'll get better chances. I guess we're following this main path over here? I guess so. Dun, dun, dun. I guess we're just gonna have to keep waiting for that daytime music. My timing sucks. There's the bastards. Oh. Proceed to the Stained One, defeating any foes who stand in your way. It's like Estinian said, right? And their snatches. I wonder what that actually. That one's sitting down. Well, for a second it did. I wonder what that actually refers to. But they use the name for those one-armed, stretchy arm creatures in Resident Evil Code Veronica X as well. Damn. Press on to the Stained One. Worse than dragons. Oh, I think it was... yeah, up these steps. It's like we don't have time for roundabout routes. Should we chance to meet Marshchamp again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the Nath, I doubt I would be standing here. Amid ruins that I would tentatively describe as Ishgardian, the style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alfino. This structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. You claim this as evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Well, of course that's what they would teach you. That's the convenient history to teach the newer generation. Stubborn fool. How desperately you cling to the false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Enough! Both of you! You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Leon, pray reason with these two. Scrubbed. Our goals are the same. Focus on that. Quite. Lest you forget, our goal is to prevent a war which will claim the lives of Dravanians and Ishgardians alike. If we are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Leon's gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. You would have me keep my counsel until Leon's visions confirm the truth? Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Hraesvelgr would likely provide the catalyst Leon's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Dragons in the sky and Nath upon the ground. One must needs sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. These Antmen are bold to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. But yeah, it's like the convenient history thing that I said. It's just like in Ul'dah, where they didn't teach. You know, we learned this in the Hildebrand questline. They didn't teach the fact. They made it the reverse, that they're the ones who turned Sildee into a bunch of zombies, but they wrote the history the other way around. That Sildee tried to win the war by you know, turning Uldans into a bunch of zombies instead, making them look out like the monsters, basically. So it's like trying to fuel patriotism is what it is, so that people are more inclined into supporting the war against the Dravanians. So obviously they're gonna say, no, yeah, these statues, they're totally not, you know, we totally never got along with dragons. It's just, you know, heretics built this shit. The Trine Towers. Spy you the 3 great towers to the west? I see one of them. That's not a tower, that's a mountain with the top floating off it. Ishgardians know them as Annex Trine. The place serves as a roost for Hraesvelgr's lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of Samal, then we must first beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Of rather more concern is the disposition of the Nath. Let us survey the approach to the towers and see if the path is clear. I know this way is shorter. Oh, I see. We came from that way, so it's this way. Just follow the path, I guess. 3 a.m. I see the dawn's light. And this place is very pretty, I must say. The Nath are fast becoming a nuisance. They seem to plague our every step. So it seems the enemy of mine enemy is also mine enemy. 'Tis as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Nath soldiers. Marshcamp did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragons so openly. Do they intend to assault the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nath's muskets. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Aww. That's what I get for trying to slide past. Server ticks were not in my favor. Oh, okay, that's how it works. Gotcha. I can just start spamming attacks and it should target the nearest enemy. I got it. Still figuring out that new targeting feature. That saved me from having to do this. To switch targets after killing one, so... So like this, and then... Boom. That's fucking cool. Alright. Oh shit, here we go. Oh! Oh my god, this is gonna enhance controller combat so much. I think there's still gonna be times where it's gonna be jank as hell and probably screw me over, but for the most part, I think 90% of the time it's gonna make it way easier to fight now. When there's multiple enemies and distractions. A greater dragon approaches. The scale of this structure is nothing short of astounding. But that is only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. Oh yeah, exactly. We're talking about dragons here. They're not exactly gonna fit into structures like the houses we have. I take no pleasure in killing the Nath. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my word to the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight. Only finish it. Oh! Damn! The chirps! You truly are beyond salvation. Come then. Damn, dude. They're never gonna get along, are they? Shall start no fight, only finish it.
Vidofnir!
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Holy shit.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight. Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Yeah.
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Oh shit! Destiny, what the fuck?
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sires will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Jesus Christ.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hraesvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
The Nath have summoned a primal.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed? 'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
Yeah, I felt that one. That last line of hers. Why must our every bid for peace breed more war? So I was checking my phone because I was looking up the definition for admonish. It's a form of reprimanding. So I was like, okay, I've heard this word more than once. I've never looked it up. A form of reprimanding that is like a warning to try and advise someone urgently to cease whatever they're about to do or change course of action, that kind of thing. Once more a primal rears its head, and once more the task of slaying it falls to you. Mm-hmm. Would that I too possess the echo. Yeah, then we could actually fight alongside each other, right? By the Fury. Must we now defeat a primal that we might treat with a worm? I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the insurmountable. Gifts for the outcasts. So the Nath have summoned their god, and thus is the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal to further their own ends. After all, you did. Oh! I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further mine own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. But what a fool I am to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought of compunction. Or compunction, sorry. Another word to look up. Jesus Christ. Good thing I still have it, the little Google dictionary open. Let me see this. Compunction. Those are gonna work, or is it just gonna... Ugh, fine, I'll just use the regular Google search then. A feeling of guilt or moral scruple that prevents or follows the doing of something bad. Okay. So if someone has like no shame or guilt for having done something fucked up, you can say to them, have you no compunction, sir? Enough! Enough, I say! If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the ether, we must face it together or watch our hopes fall apart. All now rests upon this primal defeat. But ere we think of confronting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of faith sustains its existence? My apologies. You are right, of course. Let us return to Tailfeather and consult with Marschamp. He knows more of the Nath and their culture than most. Well, I ain't going back the long way. Get this shit. Yeah, I'm teleporting. Actually, we can actually listen to the music if we use the Chocobo Porter. Let's see what it... Yeah, I didn't use Chocobo Porters in The Realm Reborn because they just travel along the ground. But the porters in this place, in every expansion from here on out, they fly, so you actually get a good view of the place. Stone appears to be a large horn. Perhaps if you were to blow into one of the holes, it would summon a Chocobo. Though it may be prudent to leave a rental fee just in case. Back to Tailfeather. 1 minute. And we get to hear the beautiful music of this place. At least for a little bit till we get there. Oh, they're taking a direct route. Yeah, this is an upgrade from the regular Chocobo Porters from Realm Reborn. It's probably easier for the dudes who program it too. Because they can make a more direct route through the air like this, rather than having to find a path through the ground that doesn't take you near any enemies that would attack you while you're riding. Although I think they programmed it so that they don't attack you anyway if you're on the mount, even if it's a Chocobo Porter. Just because I want to also show off and appreciate the environments as well, and all the people who worked so hard on them, so... That's why I didn't just teleport and I used the porter instead. Oh ho! Back already, are we? Hmm? Ah, met the Nath, did you? And what is it you'd like to... We gotta fuck up their god. Summon the primal, you say? 7 hells! Well, I don't know bugger all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, I've never seen much point in asking. But it shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves, if you give them the right incentives. Excuse me? That sounds promising. And what exactly would a Nath consider to be the right incentives? Oh, nothing your average hunter couldn't scrounge up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. Where the hell's a Stynian, anyway? See outside? You'll want a good-sized jar of land-trap nectar, a basket of Kalem tree fruit, and, always an ass favorite, a generous portion of young Nanka flesh. Interesting. Oh, there he is. I shall gather the fruit. Leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants should present little challenge to me. Me too, fool. I can also jump as high as you. Then I shall collect the nectar, with Master Alfino's arcane assistance. And that leaves you to bring home the meat. You'll need to carve it from the smaller Nankas that live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you've got everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. You have been most kind, Master Marshchamp. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Nanka egg. Really? Whatever. I didn't expect him to make a little joke like that. That's why I was like, really? But I was like, well. Still a kid. It's fine. You're in charge of gathering the Nanka flesh, right? You'll find the beasts down by the riverbanks. Just be sure to avoid the bigger ones carrying the unhatched spawn on their backs. I reckon 3 good hunks ought to do it. As soon as you've got them, head over to the trading post I marked on your map and add them to your mate's offerings. Simple. So just like with the other beast tribes in A Realm Reborn, there's friendly factions of the same tribe that are usually hostile against us, basically. Now, without flight, guess what? Go all the way around again to the road, or follow the river here, like this. And you won't have flight yet here. You never get the last Ether Current until you do the last main scenario quest that takes place in this area, in every area. So you can never fly until you're basically done with that area. So those are the big ones with the eggs on their back. We need to kill the little ones. Obviously, the expecting mothers are auto-aggro because they're aggressively going to defend their young on their back. But the little babies, they're innocent. They don't attack you right away. They got the green little neutral mark. And she gave no fucks. Damn. Oh, I killed one extra. Oops. I took more from the land than I was supposed to. Hey, forgive me, God. Guy. What you mean, Heidelin? Oh, yeah. I only hope Gaia can forgive us. When I set out to master the Dragoon's jump, it was not to strike fear into the hearts of high-hanging fruit. I gotta say, Bastidian makes me laugh a lot during this story. Master Alfino possesses a rare talent for the arcane arts. Should he continue to apply himself to their study, he will become a formidable mate in time. I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps, though I would not have known how to harvest it without Azael's help. Do you have the Nanka meat? Hmm? Tender tail meat of an underdeveloped Ninki Nanka. Splendid. I shall put this with Estinian's fruit and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the Nath. There you go. Since they didn't, target me first, I avoided the big ones because, hey, I mean, you don't want to hunt them to extinction, right? You gotta let them have their babies so we can hunt more of the little ones later for more meat. A non-mine. There is such a thing as overhunting. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trade post as instructed. Were I of the Nath, I think I would be suitably impressed. Now, speaking of overhunting, you can do that with vegetables too, I gotta say. Well, anything. If you consume the resources of the land around you faster than they can replenish themselves, you're in deep shit. A lesson humanity hasn't seemed to have learned in real life, and is increasingly more evident how they haven't learned that in recent times. How we haven't learned that in recent times. I guess the reason that Freudian slip came out where I said they is because, obviously, I've learned it, but, society at large hasn't. Can't consume faster than it comes back, folks. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sounded a signal or some such? You asking me? I don't fucking know. Calm yourself, Master Alfino. Our offering has not gone unnoticed. Well, they do look differently than the ones that attacked us. Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that fill the air with such delightful scents. Landtrap nectar, Kalan tree fruit, and Nanka flesh, all of them. What delectable foods you have brought for us. Our meager existence is much enriched by your bounty. Come, hunters, come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keeps the dragons at bay. Cramped, stifling, and horribly smelly. But better to live in stench than be cracked and crunched by dragon jaws, yes? Come, it is not far. So they use odor as a deterrent against the dragons. Interesting. Can those truly be Nath? Were it not for their appearance, I would think them wholly unrelated to the savage creatures that attacked us on the road. Yeah. These Naths seem harmless enough. Almost jovial, even. I would prefer, however, that we conclude our business with them as soon as possible. Strangely friendly, are they not? Or mayhap just strange. Yeah, they kind of remind me of, the Sylphs, or... what's that other one? Mostly the Sylphs, I think. Your presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak to our chosen leader in words, for we are Vath. We are the non-mind. What? Non-mind. Welcome to our hive, hunters. You have brought delicacies much sought after by our people, and we are much pleased. What would you have in return? Honored elder. He's got a little mustache and chin badger. Pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically knowledge of your people's god. Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are. But if it is word you desire, then word you shall have. We are the Vath, the non-mind, and to speak is our fate. You will hear the tale of the Nath's god, of the god the One Mind summoned into our midst. The One Mind? These are the Nath who reside in the main colony? Yes, they are one. Connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was swarmed by my brethren. And with spear and spell and musket, the dragon was slain. 'Twas likely one that had fled battle with my kinsman. Should commend you for finishing the job. Oh my god. He's like, what? She just shrugs, like... She looks at him like, you asshole. Dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The One Mind would always cower when their winged shadows passed over the ground. But no longer. They had learned that a battle-weary Dravanian was easy prey. Thus did the Overmind decide to heed the words of the black-robed men. Oh great, the Asians. The One Mind would call forth our god and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Dravanian lands would become Nathlands, and ever larger would grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vath despise and revile his insatiable existence. So you guys are like a faction that broke free afterwards? I don't want to talk to too many NPCs because some of them will be out of sync with the story. Since it's New Game Plus. The beast tribes have ever summoned their gods out of necessity. But the Nath should do so out of mere covetousness. That's a worrying precedent. That's true, yeah. Excuse me. Even a wounded dragon is a dangerous opponent. These Ant-Men did well to overpower one. Nathic deity. Wow, the first several quests in the story were all level 50. But then after it changed to level 51, I feel like it's been moving a lot quicker. It's like... But then we went to 52 pretty quick, and now we're already at level 53 quests. I call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at grave cost to the land. I reason that it is a necessary evil and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much, but you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nath. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their dominion. And they could give a fuck about the consequences, right? But, you know, even if you're conscious of what you're doing, Azrael, it doesn't make it right. To a scion of the Seventh Dawn, one sworn to eliminate the primal threat, the distinction you draw seems questionable at best. Thank you, Alfino. But the fact remains that my own grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Which is very hypocritical and ironic, if you think about that too. Yeah. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I at least understand them. Yeah, even Louis Sois understood what he was doing, the harm he was doing to the land by summoning the 12, but he did it anyway out of necessity, just like Israel. So, what have I said before? The world is not black and white, it's just shades of gray. Necessary evil is definitely one of those terms that people throw around too loosely, I think. But it has its place. Sometimes. Not so the Nath, as you so rightly put it. If they truly seek naught but territorial gain, I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. How lightly you propose the destruction of this god, Master Alfino. A being of whom we know not. Has it occurred to you that you may be sending the Warrior of Light to his death? Yeah, like what I was saying with Leviathan. That whole fiasco. No, You have the right of it, Estinian. It would seem it is I who am guilty of presuming too much. Pray forgive me, Leon. I do not fear my duty. I know what has to be done. Wait, Leon need not face this foe alone. Like him, I am blessed with the Echo's protection and may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. I do not fear my duty now. But Leviathan... I lost my nerve on that one for some reason. Ha! Do you truly imagine yourself a second Warrior of Light? Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters. We know not where this god resides or how to challenge it. Unless you mean to pray until it appears. Estinian makes a valid point. Let us speak with the Vath and learn how best to secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of assistance. Perhaps I answered too soon. Maybe I should have just put ... just to see what would have happened. Because I did pause for a second. I feel like that's what 3 dots kind of implies. I just kind of pause them. didn't have much of an answer to give. Oh well. Sometimes you pick an answer choice too quickly, and then later you're like, maybe I should have chosen the other one. It happens. The young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth. You're amused by this, Justinian. A vast artisan. The vast Greeks mind every question with cryptic utterances. I fear I am no closer to understanding the tenets of their faith. What the hell's Alfie now? Oh. There must be some way of infiltrating the main colony. We are Vath. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one-mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will. Though, I will say, it's caught me off guard because Realm Reborn had almost none of this. I do enjoy how they're allowing for more roleplay. They're actually letting your character have a voice now that you can somewhat control. You know, they let you, they give you a lot of these answer choice prompts. These little, yeah, these prompts to pick what your character would say in this situation instead of just constantly nodding along or not saying a fucking word and just being silent the entire time everybody else is talking. It takes you back to, like, you know, the older days of Final Fantasy where there was a lot of that. Like, FF7, even sometimes 6 a little bit, but I grew up with FF7, so that's where my memory goes there first. Where you could actually pick Cloud's answer choices a lot of the time and control the dialogue a little bit. And they took it to the point where you could have, like, you could build a relationship with certain characters and not others, yada yada. This one doesn't go that far, obviously, but still, I like that they brought back the whole being able to pick your character's dialogue once in a while. Put this idea from your minds, generous hunters. If you meet with our god, then he will have your souls. Surely you are not so generous as that. They're trying to warn us to stay away. But yeah, I kind of, I feel like it would have been more fitting for the way I've made my character so far if I would have hit the 3 dots instead. Oh well. Like I said, sometimes you pick too quickly and then you're like, oh, maybe the other answer choice was better. It happened to me my first time too, also. Sometimes I would pick an answer choice and then be like, actually it would have been more fitting for, like, my own personality, because sometimes you project yourself onto your character, you know. A lot of us make our characters extensions of ourselves, I'm no exception. With Leon at least. And so yeah, sometimes I'm just like, oh shit, I should have picked the other choice. Oh well. That's the first time during this playthrough that's happened though. Where I kind of picked a choice and was like, oh fuck, I should have picked the other one. You wish to meet our god? Offer yourself as a sacrifice and you will soon be brought before him. We would mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however. The first time during this playthrough, let me clarify. Because yeah, like I said, it happened during my actual first playthrough of this game when I wasn't streaming yet. Happened a few times there too. You are generous hunters, yes? Many gifts you have brought, but not enough for all Vath to enjoy. Mayhap you could bring us just one more? We are very fond of Nanka flesh. Yes, the meat of a young Nanka would make a fine repast. They want more food. You know, there's a game that actually captured that pretty well. Albeit it makes for janky ass gameplay. But the one that comes to mind right now is Heavy Rain by Quantic Dream. They're known for making games that are all about you controlling the story with your choices and stuff like that, but I've said it before, the only one that really did it well was one of their latest, which is already now quite a few years old now, which is Detroit Become Human. That one was fucking amazing, but one of their first projects I ever heard of on PS3, Heavy Rain, what they did well was you could listen to your character's thoughts by holding down a button when you had control of them, and you were not like in a cutscene, quote unquote. The whole thing is basically an interactive movie, so it's weird to say cutscene. But when you have free control of your character like this, like how I'm moving Leon, you could hold down R2 or L2, I think it was, and you could see your character's thoughts floating around their head, and you could pick one just to see what they're thinking. They would be labeled with words, so it's vague. And once you pick that word with the button, the corresponding button, the character would speak out loud, or well, you would hear an echo because they were thinking in their mind. But the voice actor would voice what the character was thinking related to the word you picked, the thought you picked essentially. They would elaborate. And then, for the most part, it was, if you were like in a calm state of mind, if your character was in a calm state of mind, it was, you could see the answer choices or the choices for your thoughts perfectly fine. And I just realized this also happened during dialogue. Not just for your thoughts, but also during cutscenes for dialogue. When a character would ask you something, you could make your character respond in a number of different ways, and your answer choices were like thoughts floating around your character's head. Again, when you were calm, they were normal. When you were panicked, when your character was like in a panic state because a lot of shit was going on, or they were just like really stressed out, the thoughts, the words were like shaky like this, so you could hardly fucking read it. You could hardly tell what your choices were. You were like squinting at your screen like, wait, what does that say? What the fuck is that? Like, and then you would pick, you couldn't even see the button prompt for the words either. So it was really hard to pick the thought you wanted to, the choice you wanted. And then later when I saw the commentary, that was the point. They revealed that was intentional. Because at first you're like, this is janky, that's not what I wanted to pick. You know, that's not what I wanted my character to say in that moment. It's just that it was so blurry, I couldn't even read what the fuck the answer choice said or whatever. And it like kind of pisses you off at first, but then when you see the commentary from directors, they're like, that's the point, because that's what actually happens to you in real life. Like, when you're in a panic state of mind, sometimes you'll blurt out shit you didn't mean. Whether you're angry, or you're sad, or just like really scared or something. Sometimes you're not composed, so you won't always say what you actually wanted to say. You'll just blurt out something and later regret it probably and be like, oh, fuck, that's not what I wanted to say. That's what they meant to simulate, and they did it perfectly. Once I saw that, I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. And yeah, even now, if you go back and play like the remaster on PS4, even with much better resolution and frame rate and everything, it's still, when you get to those segments, it's still really hard when your answer choices are doing this. The fucking words are like, it's just like, what do I say? And you hit a button and probably regret it. And you're like, that's not what I wanted to say. Anyway, pardon my rambling, but at least we got to hear the beautiful music I was talking about. This is one of those spots where I'm turning off battle music because this song is too good to be interrupted by battles. Generic battle music for this expansion. But I can't control when I go into camps like this. Still changes the music, unfortunately. For once, I am in agreement with the Dragoon. Speaking with these beastmen is an exercise in frustration. Why, what did he say? And what has that to do with their primal or their faith, Master Alfino? Let us glean the information we require and be done with this place. What's he responding to? What did you say, Alfino? It's like I did it all backwards. The Vath tell me that their tribe is not accustomed to giving each individual a name. It seems they only grasped the concept after they began trading with the Hunters. Because they're very united, so they didn't feel like there's no individualism amongst them. So they don't feel the need to give everyone a separate name, but, you know, well, a name, which then causes a tiny bit of division and separation. We've asked, even though it's convenient for distinction, it still does that, to a certain degree. We've asked you to enjoy our Namka flesh. Have you been out hunting yet? Yeah, I got your meat. Another gift for the Vath? So unexpected. Yes, you will have more of the words you strange hunters hunger for. Listen now. The senses of the One Mind are enmeshed by the Overmind. What one sees, all see. What one feels, all feel. Alerts a single Nath, and the whole hive is alerted. To reach our god undetected is all but impossible. And that kind of just doesn't... Well, it's related to what I just said about how they're very united, essentially. They actually can communicate telepathically, it seems. So they all see each other as one creature, almost like an ant colony, essentially. That's why they didn't have individual names for each other. But yeah, they can... Eventually, again, trading with hunters, like they said, they saw the usefulness of having individual names for distinction, because it's like... In our case, especially, because we don't communicate telepathically to the same degree that they do, if at all. Which I don't think we do. Some people theorize it and all that, but I don't think so. Like I said, I try to keep an open mind. That's why I said I don't think so. I might as well say I don't, but I'll just say I don't think so. You need to be able to distinguish talking from this person to that person. Because again, it's one of those tiny necessary evils where, yeah, you're causing a little bit of division, but it's mostly just to be organized. being able to distinguish between two people, having names and all that. It's either that or we all wear different outfits, which is way more wasteful in resources, so I think it's better to just do the name thing. The Vath are wont to allude to certain concepts without explanation, but I believe I am beginning to grasp a few of the fundamentals. From what I understand, the king-like Overmind sits at the center of Nath society, and its presence somehow allows its subjects to communicate without need of word or gesture. These Nath, the ones who inhabit the larger hive, are known as the One Mind. It was by their combined will that the Primal was summoned. Those who reside in this smaller hive, however, are the Vath, or the Non-Mind, who, for reasons that yet escape me, seem to have been excluded from the telepathic bond which connects their Nath counterparts. Thus are the Vath ignorant of the One Mind's thoughts and intentions. These guys broke away from that somehow, whether intentionally or not. And of the nature of their own god. In summary, we have wasted our time. Not so. Perilous though it may be, the Vath did furnish us with one certain method of approaching the primals. As sacrifices. Should we allow ourselves to be captured in the environs of the colony, the Nath will bring us before their deity to make an offering of our souls. So become willing sacrifices. Again. This is why I should have answered with 3 dots when Alfina was like, I'm sorry for always just kind of taking you for granted and throwing you into the heat of danger. I should have just been like, yeah, dick. You remember how much I protested about Leviathan? Oh right, but Leon didn't say a damn word. That was just me yelling in my own mind. Leon just nodded along like a fool! Does he not care for his own well-being? Our well-being? Anyway, sorry, I know what came over me there. Back to this. Forgive me, but let us be clear about what it is that you propose. You mean to say that you would deliberately provoke the Nath, surrender yourself into what might generously be termed their custody, and then wait until their god arrives to claim your soul? That's what the fuck she said. Aye, that fairly well describes my plan. You will join me in this endeavor, will you not, Leon? Judging by the great risks you took to prevent the summoning of Saint Shiva, you are not a man to err on the side of caution. Yeah. Exactly. Because that's just what we do, isn't it? Would that I could fight at your side, Warrior of Light, but the power of the dragon is no protection against primal influence. Forgive me, but I must remain here with Master Alfino. Then it is settled. Leon, you and I shall challenge the guards at the entrance to the colony. Once the hive is roused, we shall feign a brief show of resistance and then allow them to take us prisoner. Okay. Stinian's words stung me more than I cared to admit. It would seem I have begun to take your victories for granted. Do be cautious, my friend. Yeah. Glad to see Alfino's still dwelling on this just like me. I would be curious to test my lance against the Beast Tribe's god, but I cannot risk falling under its sway. Tell me of the battle upon your return, Warrior of Light. That is a shame, yeah. You can't join me in this. It's just me and Izael, well, Izael, sorry. Since we're the only ones immune to that shit. Intruders! Your lives are forfeit! Fuck you all. Bring it on, assholes. What the hell did I hit? Not the right button, that's for sure. Isaiah, what the heck are you doing over there? I think it's supposed to be a stealth mission, let's go. The Overmind must by now be aware of our intrusion. Let us press on into the hive and ensure that we have our host's undivided attention. Well, it's a good thing I sat and rambled outside while I could, because now the music's going back to the nighttime one. There it goes. Let's do this. Uh-huh. No, I lost it. Maybe I never had it. Right, I forget I should just do this. It's gonna take a while to get used to the new feature, despite how convenient it is. You doing alright, Adele? What does she fight with? Oh, she's a caster. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Leave these drones to me. We can join forces again once we are deeper within the colony. Will do. Right, not everything dies in one hit anymore. Gotta watch out for that. This does feel weird. I'm so used to targeting. My muscle memory is screaming at me right now to use the L1 button to target. This is gonna take a while to get used to. Come on, assholes, let's go. Me and you. Oh, that's because it's still targeting this. See? There's still gonna be moments where it's a little jinx. Because if you haven't untargeted your last target, it's not gonna switch for you just from pushing a button. It's gonna stay on that one until you kill it or switch yourself, so you're still gonna have to use that eventually. That should be sufficient. If we did not have our host's full attention before, we must surely have it now. Our audience with the Primal may be granted soon after our capture. Pray advise me once you have steeled your mind for the battle to come. I'll let you know. I feel like I'm already ready. Let's do this. Lord of the Hive. You are prepared then? Mm-hmm. Hold here, Leon. When next the Nath come, we offer no resistance. Hopefully they won't find it suspicious that we just killed a shit ton of them and then suddenly just stop and go, we surrender. Surrender, intruders. There is no escape. Okay, now it's believable because they told us to surrender first. They're like cockroaches. They have the shell on their back that resembles a cockroach, kind of. It's like a mix between a beetle and a cockroach. I don't know. Enough! We surrender. We throw ourselves upon the mercy of your god. Oh, looks like they bought it. They don't bother disarming us, though. They seem eager to proceed. Good. When they take us before their lord, pray leave matters to me. If what I know of summoning rituals holds true, I shall be well placed to act. Wait a minute, what are you gonna... Excuse me? Mark the sound of the river rushing through the... Excuse me? Ravine behind us. Passing loud, is it not? I imagine the noise would serve to mask our escape should we need to withdraw temporarily. But you are prepared, are you not? I do hope so. If I were to be dragged away for sacrifice while you were haggling over the price of potions, I should not be amused. See, they work it into the lore that they allow you to, even when you're being held prisoner, like with Ifrit, you're still allowed to leave and go do other things, you know. Restock on items, whatever the fuck you need, or go talk to your friends somewhere. I think there's the exit over there. But for immersion purposes, it makes sense if you just kind of go through with what you're here for. You're supposed to be a prisoner, after all. Try to escape and we will break your fleshy legs. See what I mean? Same thing. Though I dismissed Master Alfino's concerns, I confess that I did wonder how the Nath might treat their prisoners. Happily, it would seem they are not wont to harm sacrifices, nor even to disarm them. Plainly, they do imagine their god invulnerable. The plan goes better than expected. Thank you. You pointed out the same thing that I did, yeah. They didn't even take my weapon away, or yours. Which is kind of amusing. What the hell is Azale gonna do, though? Something about being familiar with the way summoning happens. She'll be poised to act.
Now we have but to wait.
Shit.
O Lord Ravana, master of the sacred blades, wrath of the colony, conqueror of the world, hear our prayer. Pray grant unto your devoted children the gift of your divine presence.
He comes.
Fucking cool. The animation department got a bigger budget. I mean, every department did, but still. It really shows here, is what I'm saying. Oh fuck, we're scrapping already?
All strength to the colony. Speak and I shall listen.
O glorious general, we have captured intruders and would make unto you an offering of their life's blood.
These feeble fleshlings dared to invade Natlands.
Hear me, Lord Ravana. My companion and I did not come to contest your children's territory. We wished only to learn the reason you wage war against the dragons.
Thou wouldst flirt with death merely to satisfy thy curiosity. Wherefore should the glorious conquests of the Nath concern thee so, Elezen? Mayhap thine own kind struggle against the worms fareth poorly, and thou art desirous of a pact.
We crave no alliance, Lord Ravana. Only peace. We would bring an end to our war with the dragons. Yet so long as they remain embroiled in this conflict with your children, our goal shall remain out of reach. Never before have the Nath risen up in such numbers, and never yet with you at their head. Why do you lead them to war?
Thy question hath no meaning. To live is but to fight.
Oh fuck, he's one of those. He's just bloodthirsty.
Long have my children waited, gathering their strength in the shadow of thy ceaseless conflict. The Nath would see the Dravanians slain, and their territory secured. and by such fervent prayers am I now given form and purpose.
As I feared, your very existence is an obstacle to our goal. Since you are so fond of fighting, we challenge you, Lord of the Nath.
They're like, oh shit! Did she just
And
say
should
that?
we emerge the victors, I would have you swear to withdraw your soldiers from Dravanian soil.
Thou art bold indeed to risk thy fleshy hide so readily. Very well. I, Ravana, fourfold master of the blade, do accept thy challenge. But should I emerge the victor, I would have thee swear to serve in mine army till thy last breath is spent. Do you accept?
He's gonna enslave us.
I do. And I believe the first bout is mine.
Take it away, Azil. I'm not gonna complain. If you can kill him and I don't have to fight, even better. About time I'm not the only one risking his life, you know? To take out primals, I mean. Would that she had been around for Leviathan. Well, there she is. The one and only Queen of Sheba. No, Sheba, not Sheba.
What is this? A god clad in flesh?
Is aught amiss, my lord? Thou wilt not break thy word, I trust.
Using their own crystals against them. She's a genius. First time we get to see two primals fight each other.
Mine oath is unbending as steel, little goddess. Thy ruse will but add to mine enjoyment.
Oh shit! Paladin Shiva. Oh snap! He's not having any of that shit. Ouch. Damn. One misstep. That's all it took. He's not having any of that shit.
I thought myself stronger. Mayhap with more crystals?
So the question is, was it a god clad in...
Be thou god or maid, thou art nothing to me. And what of thee, mortal? Art thou warrior or craven?
He's looking at me now. Oh, you'll get yours. I'm not backing down just because you defeated Shiva. I did that before myself.
A warrior, then? Good! Mayhap thou will provide more sport than thy feeble companion.
So what I was gonna say, because I didn't want to interrupt them or whatever, was, is it a god clad in flesh? Or flesh clad in god? If that makes any sense. Meaning, is it Izael that's covered by Shiva? Or is it Shiva covered by Izael? Just the way he worded it was kind of weird, so I was like, a god clad in flesh? But whatever, we understood his meaning. A human, basically. Fused with the primal, essentially, is what he was getting at. Guess that concept was foreign to him. Primals are not all-knowing, are they? Still, that was pretty genius, a genius plan of hers, right? Using their own crystals against them by using them to summon her own primal. Shiva. Forgive me, I was overconfident. I mean, at least you're still alive, Jesus. You got stabbed. The only reason you survived that shit was because you were, you know, you still had Shiva's power, otherwise you probably would have died from that. The wrath of the colony is undefeated! Victory to the Nath! Same thing. It makes sense that they all say the same thing. You could call it lazy, but it actually, you know, it's lore friendly. It's, what did they say? They all have literally the same thoughts. They're all one mind. They're like one creature with a ton of bodies, so it makes sense that they all say the exact same thing. See? They're all thinking the same thing, they're all gonna say the same thing. Okay, confront Ravana and Thok as Thok. Interesting name. They still had the hard label, or moniker, which is kind of still weirded me out. I was like, why does it still say hard? This is the first version of this trial, because I was still used to Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan having like a normal and a hard version. Hard just denotes that it's 8 people and, you know, above level 50. Eventually they get rid of this, but for now they still put up hard in parentheses. I think by the time we get to Stormblood they stop putting that. Anyway. An insectoid beast tribe connected by a hive mind, the Nath have but one collective desire: to expand their territory and prosper without fear of dragons. It was by this simple yet powerful wish that a mighty primal bent on war and conquest was summoned into existence. Bound by your promise to Vidofnir to remove this threat to dragonkind, you must now lead your companions into battle against the savage entity known as Ravana, Lord of the Hive. Let's do it! I'm just happy that, for once, the burden of taking out a primal was not just on my shoulders alone. That Azael was actually here to back me up. A shame we didn't actually get to fight alongside each other. She preferred the 1v1 match setup. I think Ravana liked that better too. But she lost, so in the end I gotta fight and kill myself anyway. It is what it is. Fun. Alright, you wanted better sport than Shiva. You found it. Let's do this.
To the sun of ringing steel.
I'll ease up. See what he can do. Oh, you're out of range. Well, yeah.
Feel my blades.
I'm not sure if you're supposed to say outside or inside for this one, or if it even matters. This one might just be a simple, like it hits everyone no matter what. No, I think there is a safe zone for that. I'm just not sure where it is. That one actually kind of hurt. I swear he has one more move he can do that he hasn't done yet. Well, I'm thinking of this one. Oh yeah, this one, okay.
Rejoice in the glory of combat!
Oh! Now you can actually get sent flying off the platform and die. I wanted to at least show everything he could do. I didn't want to kill him too quickly, you know? Anything else? He's doing Hadoken. Oh, I see. He might actually start chipping away at me now. Oh, he's gonna die before I can even... Alright.
Thus does the sacred rite of combat proclaim the victor. I lay my blades at thy feet, child of man.
See, their attacks get a lot more flashy now. So I'm trying to take it easy and not kill them too quickly so we can actually see them. So it's, it'd be a shame to miss that. Again, bigger budget, right? Everything looks a lot cooler now. Look at all these crystals, holy shit. Alright, he's fucked. The sacred rite of combat, he says. By the sacred rite of combat, he proclaims me the victor. This is like fucking Ishgard. The trial by combat shit. All these people love to just fight, don't they? Aloni the Fury. All about war.
You do not disappoint, warrior of light. Would that I had your skill in battle. I do begin to see why so many place their faith in you. For all his savagery, I do not think Ravana one to break his word. Provided the dragons do not trespass upon Nath lands, they should have little to fear of the Primal's biting blades. We have done well, have we not? Come, let us return to Vidofnir and share these glad tidings.
Once more you achieve the impossible, bringer of light. But with every mortal heart that succumbs to fear and fury, another voice is joined to the chorus, beseeching divine succor. At their bidding, warring gods will shake the firmament, and your world will be consumed in the swelling storm of chaos.
It's the first time we see a female Lassian. Thought it was a sausage fest, but I guess not. It's not just a bunch of dudes. Never since we first fought have I seen you draw upon the full extent of your power. And even from afar, till this day. You were a marvel to behold, Leon. Thanks. Well, 'tis time we rejoined our companions. They will be eager to hear the tale, and to continue our journey. See, even though the descriptions for the trials imply you bringing in friends, NPCs during the story just kind of talk about you. As if you fought, you know, as if you fought them alone. The Prime War or whatever. Which I did in my case, but only because I'm over-leveled as hell. Like, imagine hearing Azael say that to you, or your character, but the fight went such that you, like, fell off the platform and sat out, like, all of it. It would feel weird, wouldn't it? For her to praise you like that when everyone else carried you because you fell off the platform because you were new or something. And then for her to say that, you'll just be sitting there like, yeah. Yeah, I totally thought, like, I'm awesome, yeah. It's like, it's a little weird. The Ant-Man's god has fallen then. Impressive, Warrior of Light. Leon! Lady Azael! Thank the 12! Thank you for actually worrying about me. Not that he didn't before, but you know. The whole taking me for granted thing, like Estinian brought up. And thank Estinian for actually, you know, speaking up for me. Leon doesn't say a fucking word when I'm just like, hey, sending me in? Alone like a sacrificial lamb? What the fuck? Lord Ravana, you say? How curious that the Vath never mentioned his name. And you are quite certain he will keep his word? There was honor beneath his savagery. Yeah, his dying words, he said, he proclaims me the victor by the sacred right of combat, so I think he's gonna honor what he said. That we survived the encounter at all was a miracle I must attribute to Leon. Never did I doubt you, Warrior of Light. Unlike some. You were gone so long that Master Alfino here nigh lost his wits with worry. Fretting like a maid for her sweetheart he was. Oh, shit! Estinian! Was that truly necessary? Damn. Wrecked. Not truly necessary, but certainly true. Damn. That's savage, dude. Estinian just destroyed Alfino. What matters is that the Primal is banished and our promise fulfilled. We should return to Vidofnir without delay. Lest you forget, this was but a means to secure an audience with the Worm Hraesvelgr. Nidhogg's minions will not be halted by the idle chatter. Come now, we must make every moment count. You are unkind, Estinian. For all his experience and intellect, Alfino is still but a boy. That's her way of saying, come on, dude, that was a bit too mean. Like, you gotta ease up on the kid. Leon's like, yeah, dude, come on. Don't pick on him that hard. Estinian's like, what the fuck, man? I'm trying to toughen him up. Actually, Estinian's response was more like, whatever. Ah, you should have seen the boy fretting. 'Twas a sight to behold. He's still not letting up! Tease him no more. Master Alfino is to be applauded for a sense of responsibility. Given his years, 'tis little wonder the burden weighs heavy upon his shoulders. In other words, he's just a kid, man. Let up. Don't be so mean to him. 'Tis natural for him to feel concern for his companions. Yeah, I for one, am actually quite relieved, taken back, and I like that he actually worried about us. Feels better to not be taken for granted anymore. Morn in passing. Shall we be on our way to Annex Trine then? I would not have the dragons think that we have forgotten our bargain. Okay. Estinian's a fucking bully, man. laughing at Alfino for being worried about us. Even though it was Justinian who brought up the fact that it seems like they take me for granted as like a primal slayer or whatever. Vidofnir will be pleased to hear of Lord Ravana's defeat and of his pledge to recall his soldiers. You should be the one to break the news. The victory was yours, after all. Will the dragon now honor her word? That remains to be seen. True. That's a massive targeting circle. Thou art returned, little one. Hast thou abandoned thine ill-conceived contest with the Nath? Nay, my friend, we return in triumph. By Leon's hand was the beastman's god Lord Ravana laid low. In his overconfidence, the Primal swore to withdraw his followers from your lands in the event of his defeat. A promise we believe he will keep. The Nath shall trouble you no longer. The deity is slain, then? How didst thou contend with his biting blades? But the particulars matter not. Thou hast fulfilled thy promise, and I shall fulfill mine. Attend me, mortals. Hie you unto the deepest reaches of Morn, and there shall you find Halo, the altar from which you may begin your ascent to the summit of Samal. But be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on that sacred mount. By your struggles within the cavern shall I judge your party possessed of sufficient fortitude to proceed. We shall not disappoint you, Vidofnir. If memory serves, the Cavern of Morn is entered from the second floor of the central tower. Let us begin the climb. Okay. Off we go then. Be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on the sacred mount. Oh, she didn't even change it. It's the same thing. Sometimes they reiterate the same thing in different words. That's why I usually tend to talk to them again and read what they say, but in that case, no. Same exact line. Again, so I would talk to them, but some of them are out of sync with the New Game Plus and MSQ. So when I don't talk to NPCs, when it seems like it would make sense to do so, it's just because I'm avoiding potential spoilers. Some of them are living in the future. Such is the way of things with New Game Plus. So right here. Okay, good to know I can fly up here too. If you don't go in this tunnel and you just think, you see the map like this and you're like, oh, I'll just go straight there from like over here, you'll end up on the outside of the mountain over here. And this is actually inside the mountain, and the only entrance to go into the mountain is from here. As far as I know. Dragon corpse. Damn. Almost a lot like Vidofnir too. You don't actually go up there for MSQ as far as I know, so I might as well show it off a little before we keep going. Just so we can see more of the area. The outside of the mountain, I mean. I wanted to show it off before we actually go in. The Mall Foothills. Yeah, if you just do this, the mountain with the floating top, you'll never get there. Okay, so I think there is another entrance to the inside part. Right? This goes in. No? No, this is isolated from the rest of the cavern. Side quests take you up here, but not MSQ as far as I know. Maybe in the post game, but during the main game, no. Right? No, this is just an isolated little cavern with bandit snatches, I guess. See, I like this map a little better, and I'm showing it off a little bit more because there's more to it than a shit ton of endless snow, like Furthest Western Highlands, which is just a whole lot of snow and not much else. There's a few relics here and there, but for the most part, there's a lot more sightseeing to be done in this area. And again, the music, at least during the day, really good. I think I'll head back after this because we've seen the rest of this area for the most part. Can't get too sidetracked from MSQ. So that's our next destination then. That's where we're heading. They brought back the Tyrannosaur from FF8. Exactly like it is in that game. Same color scheme and everything. I thought this was really fucking cool when I saw it. I was like, yes! Straight up from Final Fantasy VIII. And there's obviously alternate versions. Vinegar Rune. There's so much to appreciate. Again, the environments are just amazing. I don't even know what that is. The music, the ambience, everything. I will agree though, in here it does look like we're just kind of like moving through the bowels of hell, but... What is this? Probably just where fate takes place. Never seen a quest take me here, so... What the hell is this? Can you tell I've never actually been over to these areas before? Alright, we'll keep going. Sorry, not sorry though. I appreciate these areas, the music and the actual environment. I like to take it all in. I rarely get to come here anymore, so... Oh, that's the floating top of the mountain up there. Again, the reason the maps are so big now compared to Realm Reborn is because they also know that even if you can't fly yet until you get all the ether currents, you have a mount. And for the first half of, well, not the first half, but like the first 1/3 of Realm Reborn, you don't have a mount. And you don't have a lot of money to be teleporting. So you have to get places on foot. So the maps were considerably smaller to make it more bearable having to walk everywhere until you get a mount. Well done, little one. As promised, I shall open the way to Samal's summit for thee and thy companion. Heed me now, children of man. The domain you seek to enter hath not seen visitors of your kind in nigh on 1,000 years. Though I freely grant you passage, your presence will not be welcomed. To my kin, this mountain is revered as holy ground and resting place both. Where are you the minions of the Nidhogg during your ascent? For 'tis certain they shall take great offense at your intrusion. So we're gonna have to fight our way up, yeah. We are grateful for your warnings, gentle Vidofnir. My final words are for thee, Dragoon. Have care to keep the stolen power thou wieldest in check, lest it breed further despair. Nidhogg's Eye? Estinian? Pretty sure that's what she meant. The way is open. Let us not tarry here. A moment. Shall we blindly forge on, knowing the dangers that await us? Teoman herself is said to guard this peak. I do not fear Nidhogg's consort. Any dragon foolish enough to bar our path shall feel the sting of my lance. Spoken like a true butcher. Need I remind you that we are come to parley of peace? Let us be clear, heretic. 'Twas to save Ishgard and her people that at first I lent my support to this doubtful venture, and 'tis for their sake that I go now to speak with Hraesvelgr. Damn. But I said nothing of Teoman. Should the opportunity present itself to rid my people of one of their deadliest enemies, I shall take it. That is my duty as Azure Dragoon. You are beyond redemption. We will accomplish nothing by bickering. If we are to meet with Hraesvelgr, our paths lead up the mountain. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? Sad state of affairs overall. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? A dragon lost to anger is beyond all control. This I learned to my sorrow when I unleashed the horde upon Ishgard. I feel the weight of Dravanian rancor pressing down upon me. So this thing will teleport us up to the floating top of the mountain up there, I'm guessing? Samal. Casting its shadow over the Dravanian forelands, this towering peak is revered by the dragons as both holy ground and resting place. And now, in accordance with your pact, Vidofnir has thrown open to you the final ascent to the sacred mountain's summit. But Nidhogg's minions will not lightly suffer this intrusion. Ere you gaze upon the fabled expanse of the churning mists, you must first carve a path through the mountain's denizens and overcome the consort of Nidhogg herself, the she-dragon Teoman. And so be it. Now, at this point, with the dialogue that just happened, aside from the arguing and everything, the fact that they said, we'll fight whoever we have to, we, as in us as in a group, it really conveyed the feeling that you're traveling to these new areas and doing this new story, Heavensward, this whole new game, in a party like in the old Final Fantasy games, like the NPCs that are with you, Alfino, Izael and Estinian are kind of like your little Final Fantasy party, and you're like the leader. You know, like a classic Final Fantasy game, essentially. And the way they talked about it, it would make sense if they actually joined you here, wouldn't it? Like, if you could actually fight alongside Azael, Alfino, and Justinian, they would be your actual four-man party. You being the fourth person, of course. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't already do the trust system, or duty support system as they now call it, until Shadowbringers, because it honestly would have made sense here. For them to talk like, we're gonna ascend the mountain as a group, but then suddenly you have to go find 3 other random-ass adventures instead to ascend the mountain with, and then they just kind of tag along from behind, you know? I'm sure they probably had the idea back then, but they were probably also thinking, well, you know, we set it up that way to make the story more immersive, but it's still an MMO, it's a multiplayer game, you're supposed to play with other people, right? So, they probably just didn't, they probably just had the idea in the back of their mind, but didn't decide to go through with it until Shadowbringers. And now they're actually implementing it retroactively. So I believe... Well, don't quote me on this, but I think they're planning on, throughout every patch from 6.0 onwards all the way to 7.0, I think they're gonna add the duty support system, which is like the trust system essentially, for every MSQ dungeon like this one, all the way to Shadowbringers, right? So 6.2 will probably have exactly what I just said. 6.2 will actually probably allow you to do this dungeon with Azael, Alfino, and Justinian. That's what I'm guessing. But 6.2 is a long way off, and 6.1 literally just launched like a week or so ago. That's like another 4 months before we find out the answer to that. Alright, let's do this. Not melee friendly though. Yeah, if you're not fast enough, they'll just... I suppose I could just ignore those. They're just mostly traps. When you're going through this dungeon with other people, please do not do what I'm doing and just run into the pollen clusters. Your healer is gonna hate you. I got 4 stacks of poison. I got poison! Raskovnik? Oh fuck, I can't do either one. Alright. Come at me, bro. He's just gonna keep taking pot shots? Asshole. All right. Much better. Another one who's gonna take pot shots, great. Well, he's taken off. That guy's an asshole. He's very annoying to fight in a party synced. Especially with, if you have a party with a lot of new players. The mechanics are not readily intuitive, and it can be very annoying. Oh. God, I love this new targeting feature. I just have to get used to it, but damn, is it fucking cool. Oh! Oh, now they're both gonna take pot shots at me. At the same time. Which one's firing where? Damn it. Oh. Wait a minute. Did I almost miss out on this? Look at this view. Holy shit. There's not much to it, but damn. There's something about seeing the sky like this. I don't quite like it, I must say. I'm glad we made it here in the middle of the day. 12:16 p.m. Though I don't know if this dungeon is one of those that's affected by the outside time and weather. I think it is, but I'm not sure. Because as far as I remember, it's always daytime when I'm here. And that must be Tealman. Yep. That's her. Alright. Let's do it. Nidhogg, my beloved, avenge me. Uh-oh. She was in love with Nidhogg? Nidhogg's not going to be too happy about this. Let me see what else she said. At the beginning she said, "You dare intrude upon this sacred mount? My jaws shall run red with the blood of men. Arrogant insects, be crushed beneath the weight of my fury." And then she said, "Nidhogg, my beloved, avenge me," when we killed her. I didn't expect dialogue. I would have taken that, a little slower if I knew. Oh well. But I don't think most of what else you might have said during the fight would have been story relevant. It would have been just more like, "I'm gonna kill you," that kind of thing. Another one! Oh. I think that one was, Titan's Crystal, wasn't it? The light blue one is the first one we ever got, which was, I remember, was where that sword was in the ground for me in Gridania. Where we first met Heidelin, actually. Leon? I'm alright. I cleared the path for all of us, don't worry. I'm good. Twould seem Tiamat was the last. I sense no other dragons nearby. What is happening? Nidhogg. He roars. I think he just found out we killed his girlfriend or something. He knows we are here then? His fury. It bleeds through the eye. Careful, Estinian. Fear not, I am yet my own master. That's twice you've got me worried about that, buddy. But that damned worm's wrath burns hotter than flame. Come, the heart of the dragon's homeland yet lies before us. Thus do we add another link to the chain of vengeance. Oh, Saint Shiva, when will it end? Yeah, now he's gonna be even more pissed off that we killed off Tiamat.
To the peak of Som Al, at the end of a perilous mountain path, whence could be seen a string of pearl-like islands floating in possibly atop a sea of clouds. To a domain where dragons and men had once lived in harmony, whose majesty no mortal eye had glimpsed for nigh on 1,000 years, they came.
I want to talk about beautiful scenery. This is even better than the last area we were in. Hey, I'm someone who loves to travel a lot to see new sights and beautiful scenery in real life, so video games give me the same fix when they do stuff like this. Like, this is absolutely incredible. That looks incredibly ominous. Don't breathe in my ear, Midgard Stormer. Like, what the hell? He's like, he's puffing the magic dragon over there. He's on my shoulder. But yeah, that looks ominous as hell. That looks divine and peaceful and just majestic. Oops. We stand within the sacred homeland of dragons, beneath the sky that is Gracefielder's domain. Our quest nears its end, Leon. Well, it's been nice traveling with you guys. It's been kind of fun. I feel the worm's anger. His lair is not far. Not far at all. Well, it's either that place or that place. Depends on which one you're talking about, I think. I don't know. Those both seem like very important places, but like opposite sides of the same coin. Light, dark. We have reached it at last, the peak of Samal. It is said to be the highest mountain in all of Eorzea. You know. I thought it cold in Kurthus, but the air here carries the chill of a dozen winters. Yeah, just because there's no snow doesn't mean it's nice and warm. When you're really high up in the sky, it gets fucking cold. It gets fucking cold. Yeah, it wasn't as cold as I thought it would be, though. Being, thousands of miles in the air. Or thousands of feet in the air, sorry. What was it? 18,000 feet? I think? Yeah. Being 18,000 feet in the air was not as cold as I thought it would be, but I'm sure any higher than that would, yeah, Start to fucking freeze up. Beyond the clouds. Now that we have scaled the mountain, here there remains the problem of finding Hraesvelgr himself. Muggles! He's dancing. What manner of creature is that? She's never seen a Moogle? This is gonna be good. Leon, do my eyes deceive me, or was that a Moogle? Oh yeah, it was a Moogle, dude. I'm just as shocked as you are to see one up here. It was my understanding that they only dwelled within the Twelveswood. I certainly never expected to see one in the churning mists. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where Hraesvelgr makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. I meant to do this. Ah, he's gone. Leon, we must widen our search. We did see a Moogle, did we not? Yeah, we all fucking saw it. The nearby air appears warped. You sense that concealing magics are at work. Oh, like a glamour. Great. Where could he have gone? I've heard tales of these Moogles, but 'tis the first time I've ever laid eyes on one. They are rather adorable, aren't they? That's a little rare coming from you. What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find the creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. She's like, what? I can find things cute. I maybe call it Lady Iceheart, but it's not like I'm just, you know... It's not like I'm Estinian, basically. It was probably... A Moogle, did you say? I am unfamiliar with the breed, but I shall search for one nonetheless. Leon just looked at her like, did you say adorable? I see no evidence of this Moogle of yours. Are you certain it wasn't the trick of the light? Mayhaps it was simply one of these strange plants shifting in a breeze. The nearby air appears warped. You sense that concealing magics are at work. There's something here, alright. I can see how you can confuse these for Moogles, though, these little flowers. There is no sign of a Moogle in the area. I'm sure I glimpsed the Moogle fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself in magic? Sounds like it. Or looks like it. Mountaintop diplomacy. Funny said, huh? Confound it. Could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Moogles, I am certain Hraesvelgr would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify Nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mists for days and not know if we were any closer to his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Azale, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try, yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Dravanians in the area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Alpina? I have not yet given up on the Moogles. Leon, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Moogles' kin in the Twelveswood. After that business with Moggle, I dare say they will be glad to help us. It's true, they might. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Estinian. Come then, Leon. Let us make haste for Gridania and rendezvous at Nofika's altar. Ah, but I neglected to tell you. There is an aetheryte of ancient construction here, which should make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. Yeah, seriously, don't forget to attune to it. We ain't traveling all that way back. Through, you know, back down the mountain, back across the Dravanian foothills. Woo! Across the Cursed Western Highlands, yada yada. All the way back to the Central Highlands, and then to Gridania from there. Hell no. We're using a fucking aetheryte to teleport. Fuck all that shit. Oh, there it is. I was like, where the hell did Cindy go? I sincerely hope you have taken Master Alfino's advice concerning the aetheryte. You would not wish to miss the sport if Nidhogg deigned to visit us in your absence. The sport. Damn, she's right about you. You're bloodthirsty as fuck. Think killing dragons is a sport? What's the matter with you? Alright. But again, you know, I get it. We know his past. His home was destroyed by dragons. He's obviously has a lot of personal ill will against them. Hey, now's our chance to roll the dice on another server. Oh, I can't do it from here. I was gonna try to make it like keep it interesting. There was one more up, but I was like, what the hell am I doing? Just use a map. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I am pleased to report that she has agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us to contact the Twelveswood Muggles, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Stand. I trust you are familiar with the conjurer stationed at its entrance? Yep. Did Azale not come with us? Did she stay back there too? I'm kind of confused. Maybe she did. I have money, let me check. What was it? I'll be right back. I want to see if Azale stayed behind and see what she had to say. I thought she came with us. That's why I just kind of, you know. There's Estinian. No, I don't see her anywhere. No. I don't know, she just vanished into thin air then, I guess. Alright, whatever. I would not have gone back to check if I was still on PS4. The load times. The Elder Seedseer awaits you. Pray follow me. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but it is no less of a relief to see you safe and hale with mine own eyes. Yeah, after that business in Uldar, right? I got pretty ugly. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, my lady, and for all you have done for us in our absence. Would that it were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the ties of battle yet dictate our comings and goings. Elder Seedseer, we would beg your wisdom in a matter that may finally bring an end to the Dragonsong War. Speak on, friend. Can we relay everything? Get her caught up on what's happened so far? I see. So you seek a means to contact these Mughals of the Turning Mist. Mm-hmm. Kupo, I say, Kupo. Someone was listening. Greetings, Kuplo Cop. It's the Narc. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Kane, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more about these Mughals in the sky, Kupo. I will gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered a Mughal high in the clouds of Dravani, and I had hoped that you and your kin in Heavensward might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray correct me if I am mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speak of Mughals who dwelled beyond the clouds? Isn't that related to the legend of King Malamud? Indeed there are, Kuplo. Long, long ago, back when the world was still young, they say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before their masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Yeah, this is the story of King Malamud. And they started bickering like children and fighting against each other, and then King Malamud made that giant rope all the way down to the surface to get his people out of there, to safety. There it is. Ah yes, the tale of good King Malamud XII. He is revered for holding fast to a rope of miraculous length that his subjects might climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the Turning Mists. Given how long his kin have resided in the Heavensward, it is perfectly possible that the details of their history have faded into myth. So they're basically pilgrims that came from the Turning Mists. And they settled down here. Indeed, Master Alvino, such stories often contain a measure of truth. It is like that the Mughals of the Turning Mist tell similar tales of the world below. I can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing's second nature to us. We often hide when the larger races come tramping through the forest. Of course, where there's one Mughal, there's bound to be more. Social little fluffy furballs, aren't they? Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. They surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kuplo. You will accompany us, then? Just you try and stop me, Kupo. I'll admit the thought of venturing outside the Heavensward is a bit unsettling, but I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you will have me, I too will accompany you on this venture, and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. Oh, wow. Mommy Kane-san is coming with us? Oh. See, even Leon's surprised, like, what? My lady, are you quite certain? This is kind of a surprise, yeah. How oft has our nation turned to the scions of the Seventh Dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk his life to save our own? Full many times, I say to you, and never have they refused us. Thus do I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. They're all worried about her. Is this not just? Oh. See, we'll set them like, are you guys gonna speak up or something? Better not. A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seedseer. We would be honored by your presence. Mommy Kane-san is coming with us. Anyway. Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as the Elder Seedseer's guide on the journey back to Samal. You're gonna take the long way then? It being a path I have already trodden, I do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, we shall have the Elder Seedseer's personal guard to escort us. Oh, that's true. Alright. You take the long way, I'm taking the short way. Fuck this. MILF Kane-san. There's Azale. The fuck were you earlier? Ah, Leon, you're returned. How fared you in Gridania? Better than I hope. Hraesvelgur's whereabouts yet elude me. Okay. Justinian. That's good, bro. Well met, Warrior of Light. Nidhogg has not stirred, but he watches us, unblinking. The Elder Seer herself answers your call? Then there's naught to do but wait. Yeah. It'll take him fucking days to get here, the long way. They are here, Leon. They always imply a certain amount of time has passed, but they never say how much. Well, they rarely say how much. Like that time where we were in... where was it? Camp Cloudtop? And they implied when we finished our business there that we were there for a couple days. When it was only just a few short quests and seeing Bismarck. Greetings, my friends. I am happy to report that our journey was mercifully uneventful. Devoid as the road was of Dravanians. Oh yeah, we cleared the path for y'all. So it seems the dragons have abandoned Samal for the churning mists. We drove them out completely, okay. Elder Seeds here, may I present to you Sir Estinian, Ishgard's Azir Dragoon. It is an honor to meet you, Sir Estinian. I have heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. That courteous bow. I like how when they get back up from it, they look up a little. From the bow, they do this. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Mughals are all around us, even as we speak. And I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that have descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. She can sense them all over. Had to be careful, I was like, they might voice this. This should serve. They're hiding, of course, but there are so many of them, Kupo. I am Kane Senna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelveswood to share words with you. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. What's she gonna do? Ooh, such a gentle and pleasing glow, Kupo. I am Moglin, the chieftain of this Mughal clan. Chieftain Moglin, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings, I am Kuplokop, ambassador of the Twelveswood Mughals. A Mughal from the world below? Your hide is of a different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. I might need a moment here, Kupo. They're just as astonished. Oh yeah, theirs is like a beige, and the Twelveswood Mughals are white. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well can I imagine your wariness. I am told that men have not walked here in nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you will forgive them their forwardness when I unfold to you the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the great worm Hraesvelgur that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to war, you say? I trust you, Kane Senna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. Treehugger Nation, rise up! But I'm afraid the same cannot be said of your friends. To be plain, we did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. Well, not only because of that. We hid because we smelled the dragon blood. We did have to fight a bunch of dragons on our way up here in self-defense. These skies are home to many, many dragons. While some crave peace, such as Hraesvelgr, many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice it to say, we are worried that the presence of your blood-spattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind and invite destruction into our happy home. Now, just a moment, Chieftain. Leon here may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it's always been for a really good reason. He is the champion of the 12-Wood Muggles, and I'll not hear his good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let us not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, Chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Koopa. In the interests of fostering friendship and keeping an eye on you, I extend to you the hospitality of Moghome. Keeping an eye on us, huh? Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Koopa. The shocked look on Leon's face. I did not expect our travels to bring us to a Moogle village. I wonder if a similar settlement exists somewhere within the 12-Wood. Oh shit. Usually you can't move. I'm doing that ahead of time. Mug? Oh, they're singing and dancing, look. He's playing a harp. With one hand somehow. Zale's watching them intently. What's your take on this? Forgive me, Leon, but mine efforts have all been in vain. As I feared, Nidhogg's rage drives his minions to attack me on sight. And the few who did reign to speak fell silent at the name of Hraesvelgr. Wherefore I cannot say, yet I fear it bodes ill. Oh, okay. I thought she was going to comment on the Moogles she was watching. I owe the Elder Seedseer my life. My duty to protect her surpasses all other concerns. Warrior of Light, we have not spoken since the trouble with good King Malcolmog, and I would proffer my apologies. Had I not been bound by my duty to protect the Elder Seedseer, I would have stood with you against your accusers in Ul'dah. I'm sure you would have, I don't doubt it. But I know you had to get her out of there. Just as their cousins in the 12-Wood, these Moghome Moogles excel in the manipulation of ether. There are few who could detect them if they chose not to be detected. Justinian, what's up with you? The Fury, take these ridiculous flying rodents! What's the matter, dude? You don't like them? They're the cutest little furballs. Moglin? Tell me, in the world down below, do all of your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was it Kuplo Cop called you again? Leon. Leon Starcrest. Leon? Your names are as odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moglin is taken, by the way, Kupo. As are Moghan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. Not these guys, right? No. Oh yeah, there's Moghan, actually. And Moglu, apparently. These being the names of the 3 wise Moogles who will administer the momentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the Trials of Trustworthiness. Undertake these trials and we shall soon see whether or not you are worthy of our aid. Well, shit. One at a time. Which one's the first one? Moghan's trials. So yeah, Moghan. Hello! Yes, I am Moghan, the foremost alchemist in Moghome, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my trial. Yes. Go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck the 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to ale tome. Not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers, Coupeau. I'm guessing they're gonna say the same thing until we progress further. The Fury takes these ridiculous flying rodents. That's funny. Sometimes they change their dialogue after one more quest is accepted, but most of the time, no. So I'll have to do these before they say anything different. Wait, what did she say? So exceedingly fluffy. You're mesmerized by the Moogles, aren't you, Azale? That's great. She's taken aback by how cute they are. She's like, so exceedingly fluffy. I think she doesn't want to say, but I think she has a secret urge to want to hug it because of how fluffy it is. And she doesn't want to say. Well, at least Azale's enjoying her time with the Moogles, even if she's loath to admit it. Estinian over here is pissed. Like, I don't want to fucking be here any more than we have to. Damn these flying rodents. Well, sorry to break it to you, Estinian, but I gotta go for a little while, so you're gonna have to deal with the company of these Moogles for a little bit. So yeah, that is my way of saying I'm gonna go for a bit, as usual. I try to stream like 2 hours in the morning, early afternoon, and then another 4 hours in the evening if I get the chance. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm heading out for now. It's past the 2 hour mark. We're almost at 2.5 hours with this stream. So, yeah, as always, I appreciate everyone who came by to watch, and for those watching in the future on YouTube or Twitch, I appreciate the likes, subscribes, follows, all the support. And as always, please take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, look after each other, and until next time, please have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace. Oh, Moogles are cute. They really are, though.